Coverage.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. Hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the Great Man Sauce. So you just caught me out there. I was trying to just get the share out before the opening intro finished. So welcome. How are you? Bit warm today, but there's a bit of a change coming through. Thunder. Might get some added effects here throughout the show. So
welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Double Coverage, the number one hobby podcast in planet Earth. Let's just not beat around the bush. We'll just pump our own tires. Toma, how are we? It's been a big week.
I'm good.
Everything's flowing along in sport. Had the first card in the UFC over the weekend. What a card it was!
Massive.
Obviously, the NBA is rolling along. We got a few big hobby scams to talk about that we'll elaborate a bit later in hobby talk and let you know what's going on. But
definitely, we will
back to normal resumption at some point, Doma. There is a card show this weekend, which we'll mention as well.
We'll get to that. We'll definitely will in hobby talk. We will get back to normal resumption. As you can tell, we are now both back in Melbourne. Our usual backdrops back to normal. I've got the roll clean on. Where is it? Right here.
There it is. Repping the roll clean.
Thanks to Maddie and Kat over in South Australia.
In the business, Doma, and I'll tell you
what. I got soap.
The card show this weekend, soap. I'm going to be smelling so good.
I got soap coming out of the ass. That's how much soap I got. And I'm loving it. I smell good. I got soap coming out of me.
You feel good. And then that's when you play good, Doma.
We've also got these as well. We'll rip in. It's a pack war. So Mr. Court King, so Matty Tabe, he's sent us a repack each, and we're going to go up against each other, see who wins out there. So we've got a bit on today, but we're going to fly through some of the stuff, and we're going to start with the basketball like we always do, the NBA, and some great news this morning, Sauce. Massive news, huge news. For people that have false belief in this side, but huge. The Lakers acquired a player that is going to help them win the title. They got rid of Kendrick Nunn and 3 second-round picks for a Rui Who's Your Mama from the Wizards. And your thoughts?
Welcome, Rui. Welcome to the Lakers. It's good to have you on board. But we're still going to be shit, Donna. We're still going to be shit. The Lakers is not going to fix nothing. We're still going to be rubbish. It gives us a bit more length, I guess. But we'll see if he can step up to the plate and, enhance those statistics and do a little bit more than what he was doing at the Wizards. I don't know if he's going to be able to have that ability or that role, once you get the full team back. I think Anthony Davis is just around the corner, Doma. I think maybe a week's time, a week and a bit, AD could be back on the court. That's the report. So we'll have to see how it happens. Look, for the Lakers, it's all going to be after the All-Star break. Once that All-Star break kicks around, can they stay healthy, make a bit of a run? Obviously, just make the playoffs in general. The goal would be to make 7th at least, so you don't have to do the play-in. But, I think they're good enough to at least get to the play-in and have a chance to get to the playoffs. I still am not sold on the roster. So I don't think the Lakers are going to be, any threat to the championship this year.
Thoughts on the other reports from NBA circles that San Antonio is still a trade partner with the Lakers and a deal is almost imminent there surrounding Russell Westbrook, and they're looking potential. I saw that it was Jakob Poeltl, another player, a pick, and Doug McDermott for Russell Westbrook. So, your thought on?
You're getting a solid big in Poeltl, and we've shown that Thomas Bryant can definitely play that second big, or even have him as the first big and have Poeltl as the second big once you got AD back in there. And then Doug McDermott, he's having a very good season. So I'm not sure if people are aware. I think he's shooting absolutely lights out from three. The Lakers are lacking shooting, so he would be a good fit.
Massively.
So look, I don't know. I'm interested to see where this goes. I feel like they've just waited too long. They've just waited too long to make these moves.
You reckon? I don't know, because they've increased the stock on Westbrook because he's still dominating.
Yeah,
so his
he's
stock's
killing
going
it off
through
the
the roof.
bench. No,
So
I
not
feel
for
like,
anything. But
yeah, no,
I don't know.
They had to give him some playing time. Like they couldn't, from what we were getting at the start of the season. But now's the time where they've got to pull the trigger. If
100%. And the other positive thing for the Lakers too are Indiana's struggling. So the fact that they're struggling again, like they were going really well, and then they've been in a bit of a slump. They've dropped into the 9th seed in the East. They haven't been playing really well. It could be the move there, to try and give them the belief that they need a player that can help them.
They're struggling quite a bit. Halliburton's been injured, so
yeah. But it's like you try and give them belief that if Halliburton's injured, you can get a guy like Westbrook in to help you out. You try and get that Buddy Hield / Miles Turner trade to go ahead. You try and work something. I don't know. So there's possibilities everywhere for the Lakers. So we'll see what happens there. But you take the big guys at the moment and some shooting. That's what you need. Welcome shooting. Global. Yeah, definitely. Welcome Global. He says, Rui the Ruiner. Still no help for the Don. And yeah, that doesn't look like they're getting anything.
I don't think they're getting
anytime soon.
I feel like they think that roster is going to be enough, and that while Spencer Dinwiddie is finally realizing that he needs to step it up, in this with the second unit. But I just think their defense has gotten a lot better, Dallas, this season. But just once again, the roster around him, they brought Christian Wood in, and they thought that was going to be the solution, and he's good, but he's also a liability on defense at times. He can be quite small, and he can get bullied. So I don't know. I just feel like still that I look at that roster and I just go, other rosters in the West are more complete and better. So,
100% they are. Just a quick run through. Denver still on top of the West, followed by Memphis, Sacramento into third. So they're playing really well there. New Orleans in fourth, Dallas in fifth, Clippers in sixth, Utah back up to seventh, Phoenix into eighth, Minnesota ninth, Oklahoma in 10th. Then Golden State in 11th, the Lakers in 12th, Portland 13th, 14th is San Antonio, and the Houston Rockets are the bottom of the West there. Then over to the East, Boston on top, followed by Philly, then Milwaukee, the Nets, who have played okay. They've won 2 of their last 5. They struggled, but Kyrie's been stepping it up, as Global has said here. Kyrie's an absolute baller. Yes, he is. Cleveland in 5th, my Heat up into 6th, the Knicks in 7th, then Atlanta, Indiana's dropped to 9th, Chicago in 10th, Toronto 11th, Washington 12th. Matty Tabe says Magic beat the Celtics again, and welcome to Matty. Yep, so Orlando in 13th on 18 wins. They are still 4 games behind
Bit
Chicago.
Of a bogey side for Boston.
Jonathan Isaac return source.
Yeah, did play 10 minutes, so that's
fantastic
nice
to see. Then Charlotte and the Pistons are the 2 dumpster fires over in the East. Last thing I did want to end on, I was considering giving this guy Lamont of the Week, but I thought it'd just be funny just to bring up Shannon Sharp getting into it with Ja Morant's dad. And then
it's pretty funny, wasn't it?
It's pretty funny. And then they made up and kissed and made up the next day or whatever the hell it was, or later on. It was just
publicity
hilarious.
Stunt, huh?
It was a publicity stunt. Anyway, if it was any Joe Blow schmuck like you and I sauce that did that, we'd be banned for life.
That is exactly what I was thinking. I was like, what about all the the ones that LeBron singled out guys, Westbrook singled out fans and got them ejected from the stadium. But nah, it's Shannon Sharp. He can stay. It's all good.
It's very funny.
The old saying goes, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Bang. On the money, Sauce. On the money. All right, let's move on. That's it there. We'll revisit the NBA a bit later in the show in the Le Mans of the Week, Sauce. It's going to be funny because I reckon you're going to get fired up when I talk to you about this and give the Le Mans, as you are unaware of who I'm giving it to and for what reason. So it might get you fired up because you've been watching a lot of basketball and you watch this team a lot. So I want to see you get upset. So that's why I do these things. Let's get to the EPL, the result Source. We'll get to it in a second.
Woo! Come on.
So the results were, we'll start with the round 7 catch-up games. After defeating City, United drew to Crystal Palace. I was pretty disappointed in that result. Tottenham 2-0 up at halftime over Man City, and they choked 4-2. They stink. They're just shit, Tottenham. They're no good. Then into the round 21 games, Liverpool-Chelsea drew, so they are still sharing 9th and 10th position. West Ham 2-0 winners over Everton. Villa 1-0 winners over Southampton. Brighton 2-2 with Leicester. Nottingham 1-1 with Bournemouth. Newcastle 1-1 with Palace. City smashed Wolves 3-0. Haaland scored a hat-trick in that one. Brentford 0-0 with Leeds. Tottenham defeated Fulham 1-0. And the big one, and deserving, of course, to the Gunners, Saucy at Emirates Stadium. Arsenal defeat United 3-2 in what was a ripping game, completely dominated by your mob and
Cracking
deserving
game.
of the win. But it was great because there was a lot of goals in this. 3-2 to Arsenal.
This man was on fire, Doma. There he is. Big Socks.
What do you put in this shit in the freaking... Oh, my God.
Big sucker. With the wonder strike. And Eddie, he was on time. Don't you worry about that. When you called him, he was there. It was a good game. It was a great game. But Doma, watching that game, if we didn't win that game, I was going to be pissed off because the way we went out and played, even when we went a goal down, what, 18th minute, 20th minute or something like that. And we came out and we, put the pressure on and put you straight under pressure, straight after the goal and, put you on a sustained period of pressure. And we were able to get the goal back, within, 8 minutes or something like that. And that's the response that you want to see. And that's the response that you see from championship contending teams that have the ability to go on and win the league. You know what I mean? That's teams that believe in themselves and their ability and the players that they have on the park and what they've been taught and coached, that it's all going to come together. Don't worry, settle down. We still got this. There's still plenty of time in the game. Keep your head because we believe in our ability. And that's what I've seen there in that game. And it's really, really making me believe that it really could be our year. But the lid's still firmly shut for me because there's still 18 games to go and we've still got games to come up against Manchester City, and that's where it's going to be won or lost, in my opinion.
100%. 50 points to this point in the season, Source. That's a massive result for Arsenal. It's more points than the Invincibles had in the season that they actually won the Premier League. Based on the way that you're tracking, your team's being better than them statistically this season, which is good news for Arsenal fans everywhere around the world. Yeah, you play a really great brand of football, and coming from a non-Arsenal perspective, what you said there, I will second that, mate. You found a way to come back and to win this game. Based on what you did in Old Trafford, when you lost to us 3-1 earlier in the season, we were the only team that had beaten Arsenal this season. And, you came back with a vengeance. You played us off the park, mate. Saka dominated on that wing. Odegaard gave us so much trouble. And Nketiah was really, really good. So credit to them, mate. Partey's played well. Xhaka, Martinelli, these guys did really, really well. So it's looking very positive for the Gunners, Source. We'll get to the table just here. I'll bring it up. Did you see Roy?
Getting exciting.
Did you see? Actually, I'll ask you this question after I bring this off the screen. But here's Arsenal on top. Man City, Newcastle, United. That loss puts us back on equal games played now with Newcastle
Arsenal
on 39 points apiece
as well.
Yeah, you got a game in hand over here, so you can still extend it to 8 points. Newcastle, United, and City all a game in hand over Tottenham in that 5th spot. That doesn't really matter for City, but for Newcastle and United, it does. So hopefully get back up by
Jeez,
6 on
I reckon
them.
it looks like Liverpool might not be playing Champions League next season.
They're not playing Champions League.
29
The only
points.
way they'll fifth gets you Champions League, or no? That's just Europa.
Get you a playoff. I think.
Well,
maybe it's Europa.
They got 2 games in hand. They got 2 games in hand. They probably could. I reckon they will.
I think it's a playoff.
Tottenham will bottle it. They always bottle this shit. They're terrible.
Well, they got
Brighton
the result against Fulham.
Yeah, well, they play. Yeah, I know, but Brighton in
Fulham's been in good form. Fulham's in 7th, mate.
Yeah, I know, but but teams that are meant to be top caliber teams, you shouldn't be 2-0 up against City and losing that 4-2. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's a fair point.
Brentford in 8th, Liverpool and Chelsea in 9th and 10th. Villa, Palace, Nottingham are up in 11th, 12th, 13th. And then obviously this relegation battle from Nottingham, more actually from Palace all the way down to Southampton.
Frankie Lampard been given the flick.
Yeah, got given the flick. They're looking at Marcelo Bielsa source for that one to come in and to be manager of the Toffees. So see what happens there. The other interesting thing before we finish, I get to this week's games. You see Roy Keane's comments about Nketiah?
Is something about Ian Wright?
No, he reckons he's good enough youngster in the world to play at Real Madrid. That's how good he's playing at the moment.
Oh, jeez. Roy.
Big coming from Roy Keane. So, pretty good. Ashton, welcome to the show.
These pundits love an outlandish statement. Look, he's good, Eddie, but he's got to keep it up. He's got to keep it up.
Exactly. The games this week: Chelsea, Fulham, Everton, Arsenal, Villa, Leicester, Brentford, Southampton, Brighton, Bournemouth, United versus Palace again, Wolves, Liverpool, Newcastle, West Ham, Nottingham, Leeds, and Tottenham versus Man City again. So stay tuned for the next round of football games. See, I thought United played
Tottenham versus Man City again.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Is there a catch-up game somewhere here? No, that's it. Must be a break this week. No games this weekend. Looks like. So,
fair enough.
Anyway, stay tuned for that one. And let's move on, great man, to the NFL. And we've got to the Final Four. We're finally here. San Francisco will start with the 49ers. Beat the Dallas Cowboys 19-12. I don't know if you've seen all the videos, mate, of the Dallas Cowboys fans. One guy punched a hole through his TV. Another fan took out his TV, threw it on the floor, then got his pickup truck and ran over the TV. I don't know what that had to do with anything, but disappointing. Brock got it done in San Francisco. So 19-12 win is there.
Crazy people out there paying exorbitant prices for Brock Purdy rookie cards, let me just tell you. And this golden run he's gone on with the 49ers has made people go loopy in the hobby. Ladies and gentlemen, there's so much Brock Purdy product to come out. Do not be buying the rubbish that's coming out right now. It's so hot. Just wait. If you really do like Brock Purdy and you want to buy his cards, just wait. Because once it's all said and done, after the season, everything will settle down and you'll be able to pay a hell of a lot less than the prices that you're paying now. That was a pretty shit game.
Happen. I know, but what happens with Brock Purdy after this season? Are they just trying to raise his stock value? I still think that Tom Brady is going to be throwing the ball in San Francisco next year. It's either going to be there or Miami. He's not going to be at Tampa Bay. He's either going to be at San Francisco or Miami next year, I reckon.
He's just going to shop his services and just take his pick. Hey, Domo, and just go, I'll bring you the Super Bowl. Bring me down.
Mate, if he comes to Miami, we could actually win a Super Bowl.
Oh, 100% you could.
We're loaded. Our defense is loaded. Our offense is loaded. All we need is a QB that can actually hit targets. I'd rather have the GOAT there than a backup, but anyway.
He's still giving it to Tua. He had a good season, Tua. He didn't get so many concussions.
Come on, man. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. He's still not.
Hey, concussions will rock around anyone, mate.
I know.
That concussion where he was knocked out and his
No,
arms
we
were
gave
up
the
in the
Lamont,
air,
mate. We gave the
and his
Lamont to
arms were
the
in the air.
doctor that
Hey,
made him play.
yeah, I know that, right? That's bullshit. Then he went,
Yeah,
and
they
then he got
fucked him.
concussed again, right? They
Yeah.
fucked him, right? Kamaru Usman on the Joe Rogan podcast, when he got that crazy knockout by Leon Edwards, they said you cannot do anything for 3 months. 3 months.
Yeah.
And they put this guy out there 2 weeks later.
No, a week later. No, it was a week later, wasn't it?
That is a disgrace, mate. He should have never even been out to go out there for 4 weeks at least.
Well, that was the second one. The one where he had his hands up was the week after. That wasn't the first one. So that was the more dangerous one. Was the second one.
That's just crazy.
And then they ended up firing and then they fired the doctor that gave the advice.
Mate,
don't get me.
This is what I don't understand.
I'm just comparing
this crazy lawsuit long ago, and they had to pay out billions of dollars, and they're fucking still making these retard. Like you got to protect the players, man, and the Players Association, mate. Oh, fucking, they're shit as well, mate. They should be standing up for Tua. You know what I mean? In that situation.
Yeah, I'm not bagging Tua in terms of I'm just saying he's not as good. Obviously, his skill set to Tom Brady. He has had a good season. I agree with you completely. The club effectively screwed him over this year by playing him a week after you got concussed, and then he was finished. And not for anything, that can ruin your whole career. So there's potential he might not ever play again. We've seen the football players, mate, that have had concussion, they haven't been able to come back. They've been sitting on sidelines for 2 seasons, 3 seasons, and they're like, man, I'm not getting better, and then they just retire. So that's your career done, and off a bad decision. Anyway, next one up was Joe Burrow against the Buffalo Bills, and the Bengals just make their way through again, Saucy. They just stroll straight into the Final Four, but they've got a big task ahead this week coming, which we'll get to that game in a second. Philly slapped New York 38-7. It was a no contest. And then Kansas City, Mahomes, 27-20 winners over Trevor Lawrence and the Jags.
Crazy game. So if anyone didn't watch this, he went down with an injury and was pretty much on one leg. Like he was literally making plays where to run the ball back to the running back like that, take those few steps, he had to turn, hop, skip, sort of hop off his good leg, do a little skip jump with his bad leg, and then hand off the ball to the running back. And then, he did a play where he got it back and the quarterback the pocket was collapsing. So he had to step up in the pocket. He stepped up, jumped off his good leg, one-legged jump, threw it into the back of the touchdown, scored the TD. And that ended up being the ceiling TD. But, to lead that drive, he led that drive on one leg.
I don't think people I think people know how good he is. They do. All right. Let's say, I'm not going to say I don't think people realize how good he is, because everyone knows how good he is. But people don't realize how good he is in terms of the ceiling of his talent, whether he's injured or not. Like, we've seen him do this shit before. He's just a freak. He's actually a freak. No look passes, hobble passes, hop passes, no leg. He could be sitting in a wheelchair out there, mate, and he'd be making the final drive to win a game. That's how good he is. Put a blindfold on him. He's a freak. That takes us to this week's games, mate, and they're 2 crackers. We've got the Eagles versus the 49ers. I want your pick for this one.
Who's at home? 49ers?
40, is it? No, San Francisco. Oh, sorry. Philadelphia.
Eagles.
I think it's Eagles.
This is a tough one. I'm going to have to go with the home team. I'll go with Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. I think there's going to be a low-scoring contest. I feel this is going to be a contest of the defense. Which defense can come out on top. I think a big defensive play or big defensive plays, either way, is going to decide this game. Obviously, you have to score the ball regardless. But I feel like there's the defense that can cause the right amount of turnovers, get their offensive team back on the park. Will come out on top. But I like Philly. Jalen Hurts has proven to live up to what people were expecting him to be. I mean, so which is good to see. Well, it's always nice to see a guy come out of college and have this success in the big time. And yeah, look, I'm going with Philly.
I'm going to back San Francisco because I just like the Brock Purdy story and he's doing a great job. And I like San Francisco. So I hope they get the job done. And then Kansas City against the Bengals. It's in Kansas.
This is a tough one. Look, I'm going to go with Kansas because I've as I said, I'm riding Kansas. I picked them at the start of the season. So, going to stick with them. But how much does that injury affect Patrick Mahomes? How fit is he coming into this week? We know, Joey B can win anywhere. It doesn't really matter. So, I'm not worried about, Joey B, not turning up. I think he will. I think he's just that guy. I've said that for a long time on this podcast. I think, when
that's your boy.
I think when the discussion was like Joey B or Herbert, and I was like, well, I'm taking Joey B. And I've always said that. And I'm not saying that Herbert's not a good player. Like, I still think he's a great quarterback, but I just think Joey B is better. He's just a better player. And I've seen that through that first season. And then unfortunately, he went down with his ACL and he's come back like a house on fire and made one Super Bowl appearance already in his first 3 seasons in the league. I mean, something has to be said about that. And, has that great connection with his wide receivers. So I think it's going to be a tough game. I think this, is going to be decided within a field goal. I think the bookmakers have it like only a 1-point spread or 1.5 point spread. I think it's very, very split. But I'm going to stick with the Chiefs.
I'm going Chiefs too because it's my homeboy. He's my boy and I love him. So hopefully he gets the job done. But yeah, interesting to see. The winner obviously goes into the Super Bowl. Mahomes could be gone for his second. Well, he could have won it last. Was it last year they got beaten? No, the year before they got beaten. Last year was Joey B. Got done. Falvis says need some glow in the dark slab mags in the dungeon, Saucy.
It's hot. It's hot up here.
He's upstairs. That's why.
Steaming.
He's upstairs.
And I had to shut the doors and the AC can't come in, so keep the lights off.
Bit of a Oz Open action. Let's get into it here. A lot's transpired since last week. Everyone has been knocked out. Nadal was gone second round. We had Medvedev booted out. Sinner's gone. Berrettini's gone. And we had the last 16, which is now gone down to the last 8. But some notable games, obviously, yesterday. We had Djokovic, who supposedly has a hamstring injury, just came out and gave Dimonor a lesson in tennis. He beat him 6-2, 6-1, 6-2. It wasn't even a contest. We had Paul defeating Bautista Agut in 4 sets. Shelton beating Wolf in 5 sets. And Rublev beating Rune in 5 sets. Interesting source. The Americans. There's a fair few of them that are doing very well in this Grand Slam. New era of American tennis, it looks like, which is pretty good. The other interesting thing is that I've noticed there's a lot of high-seeded to unseeded players that have advanced in the men's draw this year in 2023. But of course, the 2 highest-rated seeds in this tournament are Tsitsipas and Novak Djokovic that are left. Currently at the moment, Khachanov versus Korda. Khachanov won the first set 7-5, and he's up a break and serving to go 5-3 up in the second. Then Tsitsipas versus Lehecka tonight. You get a tip for that, Source. The Greek god, Tsitsipas versus Lehecka.
I think Tsitsipas will win.
He's been playing great tennis.
He's been playing great tennis, and even in that game the other day where Sinner was on top for a while there, and in those sets when he came back, he kept his head and was able to win the 5th set. Sometimes players crumble in that situation when they give up a 2-set lead, but he was able to get out on top and win the fifth and go through. So, yeah, I like Tsitsipas. I think that's the final that you want to see. I mean, you want to see Tsitsipas against Djokovic. I mean, that will be, give people best value for money, even though I think, this is Djokovic's tournament to lose at this point. His road to the final is pretty easy.
Well, he's got Rublev tomorrow, who's the 5th seed. So I was mistaken there. So Rublev is there. He's a good player. So he has to beat him. And then the winner of that plays either the no match.
He'll be no
You reckon?
Yeah.
You destroy him. All right. And then the winner
within 4 sets.
The winner of that plays against the both unseeded Shelton or Paul, the winner of that game in a semi. So he potentially could. Well, you never know. Some of these unseeded guys sometimes Sauce can cause upsets, because they play their best tennis. But the thing with Djokovic, he knows how his timing is unbelievable when to make runs in games. And don't get me wrong, if you don't watch a lot of tennis, there is runs in tennis. It's all about picking your time. Sometimes you're just playing consistently. You're just getting the ball back, trying to make them run, do all the work, hit all the power shots. They think that they're winning by hitting all the winners, and then you go up a gear, and they can't keep pace with you, and you just steamroll them. You just trample them. And that's what Djokovic has been notorious for his whole entire career. Whether he's calling medical timeouts or the sun's affecting him too much, Sauce, he's bloody wobbling. He's about to faint on the court.
Mate, remember the one where that final or whatever, it looked like he was. Yeah, that's right. He's about to faint. He's got a towel over his head at the thing, like he's dead, and underneath he's pretending like he's eating something, and they're asking him. And after they were asking, "What did you eat?" He's like, "Oh, it was just
pickle juice. Wasn't it pickle juice or something?
Pickle juice or something like. He's just like some juice gel or something like that." And he's just like, making it out. And then he just comes out in the 5th set and just demolishes it, dominates it, wins the set.
So, yeah, I'm going Djokovic against Rublev, and whoever wins the Shelton pool, it'll be a good game no matter what. So that should hopefully set up the games Thursday and Friday. The final is on Sunday, 7:30 p.m. So we'll definitely be tuning into that one and covering it next week. All right, Sauce, over to you for the UFC.
UFC segment is sponsored by Roll Clean Soap. Australia's #1 in MMA, BJJ, and martial arts hygiene. Roll Clean Soap is a proud family-run Australian business. Roll Clean Soap is made with natural ingredients and helps keep you clean on and off the mats. Don't be the smelly guy at the gym or at the next card show. Walk in with confidence with Roll Clean Soap and destroy the competition. Roll Clean offers a wide range of products targeted in assisting in post-training recovery. Our magnesium bath salts, bath bombs, and boost balm can help ease those aches and pains after a hard training session. Roll Clean offers many soap varieties to choose from. Just visit www.rollclean.com.au or hit them up on socials. Roll Clean, we've got your back. Best in the business, Stommer. Keeps you smelling fresh. I tell you what. There we go.
And now, if you're listening and not
cedarwood and lemon,
oh, if you're watching this, then you'll see the code on the screen. If you're listening to this, so 20% off your first order. If you head over to rollclean.com.au and at the checkout, use the code double coverage to get that 20% off your first order. Mate, they got everything. This is the charcoal. They got the lemon twist. There's the original. They got different smells. I don't want to go through every ingredient. They got the King soap. That's the Curios soap there. Journey soap. Fruit punch. These are just hand soaps.
You got the beard oil.
Yeah, here it is.
All natural, 100% beard oil. Make that beard nice and smooth.
The badass beard oil. The badass Sauce. We got freaking bath bombs. You want to have a romantic evening with your missus? Chuck a bath bomb in there. You can rub all the soap all over them. It's good for everything, mate. Not just MMA and smelling good. Get you in as well. There we go. We love the Roll Clean. Thank you to Maddie and
It
Kat.
lathers up. Yeah, Maddie says chuck it on the pubes. I'll tell you what, it lathers up nice on the pubes, mate. Don't worry, it lathers up beautifully.
You've lost your shit. You'll live on.
Well, look,
Yeah,
we gotta have a bit of fun with it. Appreciate all the support from the team down there at Roll Clean, Maddie and Kat. Make sure you check them out, ladies and gentlemen. All right, without further ado, we'll leave that up there while we read up some results off the UFC. The big card, 2-8-3 over the weekend. We'll run through the main card. We'll see how we did. I got this one completely wrong. I thought Paul Craig would defeat Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker gets the knockout in the first round. Bizarre knockout. Johnny Walker took a kick. Paul Craig caught the kick. And while he's got his leg and sort of Johnny Walker's hopping on one leg, he's literally throwing punches with his other hand, and he lands him with two good punches, and then he ends up just finishing the fight off that. So as he's literally on one leg hopping around, he's punching him, and he's focused on holding his leg, and then he ends up crawling up into a ball, and Johnny Walker's just there laying into him, and good night, Paul Craig, knocked out in the first round. That was in the light heavyweight. So, good comeback from Johnny Walker. I think he's won now 2 fights or 3 fights in a row after being knocked out in one of the most crazy knockouts you've ever seen. If you haven't seen it, type in Johnny Walker crazy knockout on YouTube, on Google, something, you'll find it. And it was when I say crazy, you just see like the way he actually got knocked out. It was just bizarre. But good comeback from him. Women flyweight, you have Jessica Andrade defeated Lauren Murphy. I thought Andrade would, not, take the loss. I picked Lauren Murphy, so not a good start for me, Doma. Picked Lauren Murphy last week, but Andrade gets the job done. It was in Brazil, so she was obviously pumped up in front of her home crowd. She gets the third round decision. I said here Gilbert Burns would get the job done here, and he got it. Let me tell you, did he get it done? He got it done in the first round submission inside, very, very short amount of time left in the round. But yeah, inside for one round against Neil Magny. Gilbert Burns makes light work of it. Brandon Moreno gets the knockout in the third round. There's no better way to do it and lock it up. The quadrilogy is done. They've had 4 fights. Moreno's won 3. Figueiredo's won 1. It's been a great, back and forth between the two, but I think it's time to say that Moreno is the man in that division, in the flyweight division. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes to next. He, obviously beats Figueiredo on his home turf in Brazil, and I'm not sure if you caught it, Dom. It was pretty funny. Once he left the octagon, he had to get escorted with security, and he was literally running. And as he's running, you just see beer cans, beer freaking flying everywhere, just piffed at him from the Brazilian crowd. They weren't happy that that he defeated Figueiredo on his home turf. So the Brazilians, they're just ruthless over there when they get the UFC, mate. Oh, it gets even better. It gets even better when I'll tell you about the crowd here. So in the main event, you had Jamal Hill defeated Glover Teixeira in fifth round decision. Really, Jamal Hill's on a heater, Doma. Jamal Hill is on a heater. He's 12-1 in MMA. I think, you have to believe in him now. He's taken the vacant title in the light heavyweight, so he is the champ. That was for the vacant title. He's taken the title. He is the man now. And look, I'll be honest with you, I've been a bit of a doubter of Jamal Hill. He's shown good time and good timing in his striking. And I know his striking is really well, but I've never thought he's come up against a guy that can, maybe overpower him when he gets taken to the ground. I thought Glover was going to be that guy because you're seeing what he did to Yuri, and Yuri's a really good striker. And, obviously we've seen what happened in that fight, but credit to Jamal Hill. He was amazing on the ground. He held his own, and then he was able to put those strikes on, and man, he has hands. He has hands. I'll tell you what, I can't wait for Yuri to come back and versus Jamal Hill. I think that's going to be a fucking great fight in that light heavyweight division. Jamal gets the decision, wins the title, and I'm not sure if you once again caught it, Doma. There was literally, I'm telling you, the stadium was 80% empty when he was getting the announcement of he'd won. They already knew he won because it was that much of a landslide. You seen Glover's face. He had cuts all over his face. He'd landed way more strikes and everything. It was, it was a shoo-in. Glover's just a warrior. It's hard to knock that guy out. Yeah. But Jamal 100% won that fight, clearly won it, and they knew that, and they'd left the stadium. Like, they'd left the stadium before even they'd gone, and the winner is Jamal Hill. Like, it was just crazy, just crazy. But it was a great card, and, good to have the big main events back. We've got another card this weekend, Doma, I believe, Sunday the 5th. Is that this weekend? Yep, Sunday no, that's not this weekend.
That's next week.
Next weekend. So there's a week off, and then the following week, we're back on. And you know who the headliner is? Our boy, Doma. Hot balls. Derek Lewis. He's back in action. Unfortunately, he had to pull out of his last fight, but he's back in action against Sergey Spivak. And Doma, let me tell you, Derek been putting in work over the Christmas period because he's looking slim. He's
really
lost weight. He's lost weight. He's starting to take it a little bit more serious. He's lost a bit of weight because there's obviously no weight limit in the heavyweight. You can go.
Well, he's probably seen, and Ngannou's gone. He's probably seen an opportunity here. He's probably seeing an opportunity.
So, hey, he's lost quite a bit of weight. So this is going to be an interesting fight and see how he comes out. But headlined by Derek Lewis versus Sergey Spivak, and then the co-main event, Jung Dan-un against Devin Clark in the light heavyweight. We look forward to that in 2 weeks' time. That's UFC for another week, Doma.
Also, big props to Glover Teixeira for a great career.
Yes,
obviously, he put the gloves in the middle of the ring, and he's retired from the sport, and he'll just continue to coach
Pereira.
Pereira?
Yeah, look, he's now probably going to be one of the lead guys to help Brazilians come into the UFC and train them. I believe he has a big training gym and everything, and was him setting up his life after fighting when he hangs up the gloves. And he'll go into that. What's good with Glover is he can speak English, he can speak Portuguese, so he can help that language barrier also with new up and coming Brazilian fighters that are coming up that may only be able to speak Portuguese. So he's still got a lot to offer the sport, and he's been I think I read something, Doma, when the first ever UFC rankings came out, Glover was in the top 10. And he leaves, and he's like third in the rankings. So he never left his whole entire career. He was in the top 10 rankings in the UFC. That's amazing. That's amazing. Like, that's unbelievable. That means that means you pretty much didn't have a long losing streak to not get outside the top 10. You've always been bounced back in your career, and he's had a bunch of fights. I think he's had 40, over 40 professional MMA fights.
That's crazy. That's
so
crazy.
Great,
massive career. Obviously, he's retired, and more than likely, he'll be inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame.
Yeah, for sure.
Alongside Jose Aldo, who got inducted,
he did as well,
which was fantastic to see. Also, all right, Sauce. That's it for the UFC. Let's get on to Le Mans. Now, I haven't told you who this is or what it is. All right, because I want to see you get fired up, because I know you watch a lot of this team, and I understand. I completely get the fact that this person is making a lot of money. A lot of money. All right? 35, 37, 40 million over the next 3 seasons. All right? And he's playing in a team where he's got 2 guys. There's 2 main guys surrounded by shooters. All right? He just needs to go about his business. And Jalen Rose, I don't know if you caught this, Sauce, came out, and I'm going to defend this guy. All right, because not everything's about offense in basketball in the regular. Well, it is in the regular season when all that matters is your seeding. But when it comes to playoff basketball, offense obviously matters because you've got to score to win. But the big component of playoff basketball is what? Defense. And what this guy has actually been doing in the regular season to guys and shutting them out of games and setting screens and creating offense that no one seems to give him any credit for, just because he can't score 30 a game when he doesn't have to, is a disgrace. So Jalen Rose Sauce came out and said that Ben Simmons is stealing money from the Nets, ski mask and gloves. Pretty much saying he's offering them absolutely nothing. But all he's doing is just a body there and taking the money from the ball club. This is just the Lamont to Jalen Rose. But then, of course, his old buddy there, Stephen A. Smith, has to back him up because you know how it rolls. When we've got to bag the Aussie, we'll bag the Aussie, and then everyone has to jump on board and give him shit as well. Right? Here's the problem that the Philly stunk and all this stuff. Even that, Brooklyn are fourth in the East, and there's no Kevin Durant in this team, and he's doing his job. And when Kevin Durant was there, he was still dominating as well. But anyway, apparently he's just there stealing money source. He offers nothing to the Brooklyn Nets basketball franchise, nothing at all. I was a bit surprised in this. It's just a witch hunt on Ben Simmons, if you ask me. He's averaging 7.5 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 6.5 assists per game. And apparently he's just stealing money. Just because they look at stats, apparently it means everything. So, Jalen Rose, for those comments, you, sir, are...
Lemon! Had my mic muted there, so I started going off, and it was muted. But we'll leave that up on the screen. Don't look. You know what these media personnel are like. I mean, they got a witch hunt on this guy, man. They got a witch hunt on this guy. We've seen it before. You know what's funny, Dom? Since he's actually, he got ejected the other day, but since KD's been out of the lineup, he's increased the amount of stats he's doing. He's increasing the amount of, rebounds he's going after. Man, you got to watch the game. You got to watch the game to understand how Ben Simmons impacts the game. I mean, with the shooters they got there with Seth Curry, Joe Harris, Kyrie, and these are the guys that are just playing at the moment. You got TJ Warren, that can shoot the ball pretty well. With the shooters that they do have there, he doesn't need to score that many points. I mean, it'd be good if he could get 10, 12 points a game, but he has been a little bit more aggressive, but he doesn't need to score those type of points. He just needs to, rebound hard, play good defense, pick up the other guy's defensive player. You see him all the time. He's always, playing hard defense and trying to D up on guys, and you see him picking up fouls and things.
He played on Wiggins yesterday, for example. He had 4 points, Wiggins.
Yeah.
And then he played on Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson had 10 points yesterday. I'm just saying, all right? I'm just saying.
There's other ways. This is what
he's got zero impact. He's got zero impact source, this guy. Zero impact.
Did Jalen Rose, did he play? He played, right?
I know. He's a better defensive player than he ever was. This is a guy that got robbed of Defensive Player of the Year to Rudy Gobert because it's a witch hunt and the media don't like him, so they gave it to Rudy Gobert. This guy should have won it. He carried the Philadelphia 76ers on his back when Embiid was injured. He took them to the playoffs, averaging 24, playing the best defense in the team. And he was still the reason why, he's just shit, apparently. He offers nothing. I'm with you, Source. Jalen Rose played, but clearly doesn't see this stuff.
This is what I mean. He played, so you should understand that there's more ways you can impact the game than, just that. I'm telling you, he fits well in the team. Once KD is back, don't worry. They'll be steamrolling again.
They can win it.
They can win it because they're looking like with that lineup when you got, Claxton playing the 5, who's now, as much as we've given him shit on this show, we're only giving him.
Might have to slab this now.
Might have to slab it. I'm telling you. I think he's leading the league in blocks or second in the league in blocks or something like that, and he's becoming, quietly becoming a very, very good defensive player. He moves as well on defense for a big guy as well. He's a little bit scrawny, so when this is my worry with Claxton when he comes up against the like Embiid and the bigger centers, he will get bullied a little bit. But he can hold his own, and he's played well in some of those games against those guys. And they have that lineup. They have KD, and they got Kyrie, and they got Simmons in there. I mean, it's an interesting lineup, and you need versatility. I mean, and with Simmons there, and you got KD, and you could potentially maybe move KD to the 5, and then play a smaller ball lineup when you have that situation where other teams go smaller and you can't afford to play that bigger tall. You got to have versatility, and that's what Simmons allows you to have. He could play that. He could play the 5. He could play that 5 role as an undersized 5, because he's still a pretty big body, allow KD to still roll out and play that 4 role. I don't know. I still, it just baffles me that, that people don't see that how well he can, we've seen how well he's gelled with the team. I mean, once he's been back, they went on, he came back and they went on literally what's this? I'm just looking at it right now, a 10-game winning streak.
I just don't think he's going to get the recognition he deserves until
he had 4 games
proves
off.
it. Until he proves it, Source, in the playoffs where he bottled. Until he proves it there, he won't get any recognition.
He got injured. He had 4 games off, and since he's been back, they're literally in the games he's played. They are 15, 13, and 5 in the games he's played.
I'm telling you, until he kills it in the playoffs or has an impact in the playoffs, he'll get no recognition of that he deserves. That's just it, because that's where he bottled it, and that's where they want to see him play his best basketball. But if the Nets win the title in some crazy, whether it's this universe or alternate universe in 4 months' time, if they win the title, or 5 months' time, whenever the hell it is he going to get 0 credit for being a part of that ball club? People are going to forget this period of time when KD wasn't playing? And he had to play defense to help his team? Anyway, just wait and see, Source. I already know he's going to get no credit. He'll get thrown on the bus again, as per usual. No surprises. All right. Let's move on.
It's just funny coming from a guy like Jalen Rose. I'll just say that. Right?
Yeah, fair enough. That's a fair point. All right. Let's move on to Hobby Talk, brought to you by Platinum Standard Grading. Thanks to the team at Platinum Standard Grading. Interesting stuff. I've got to bring it up straight away. PSG, obviously, Hobby Talk brought to you by PSG. Now, something crazy was suggested. I don't know if he's half joking, but I know when BJ talks, Source, for those who don't know who BJ is, he's founder and CEO of Platinum Standard Grading. We know him in a different relationship to what other people may know him or see him as. What you see is what you get with the guy. But when you know him, there's him joking, and then when he's talking, he's not half serious. He's full serious when he mentions these things. But he did say, Source, 2 podcasts ago on the Platinum Standard Grading podcast, that he said he's thinking as Platinum Standard Grading, they said they're going to open up by the end of this year in the United States. That's the first thing he said. Secondly, he said, if you've got an Australian grading company and you want to sell, he goes, we'll buy you. He wants to buy all the Australian grading companies and put it under one umbrella and just run from there. It was crazy to say it, but at the same time, I think he's being full serious, Source. We just know him.
There you go. If you listen to this show and you've got a grading company, hit up BJ. He wants to buy you. That's what he said.
Exactly. He'll do it.
I mean, why not?
Why not? It was just interesting. I thought we'd just bring it up quickly and it was an interesting concept. Just let us know, obviously, in the chat
I'm telling you, mate.
Comments?
Good quality slabs,
Pickle
PSG.
slabs.
Fair grading. Every grade I've ever got from them has always been fair, right? And I overlook my cards and look them in and before I send them. As I've never got a card back and gone, I'm a bit pissed with that grade or anything. I think everything has been fair. Doing some unique things. Be interesting to see the development of the technology with the the NFT that's connected to these once they get graded. As anyone who doesn't know, there's an NFT that's minted on the blockchain with your card in the PSG slab with the grading process.
Let us know in the chat your thoughts of there being one overarching grading company in Australia, and that grading company being Platinum Standard Grading, if they were to buy out everyone. So that means they'd buy out everyone, like CGA, TCG grading. You think of them, they'd buy them.
I think
in Australia.
Imperial, I think there's in one called Imperial.
I think. Yeah.
Black Label. Remember them?
Yeah, they'll buy them. And are they based in New Zealand?
I don't know.
They've gone quiet.
I don't know if they'd be worth much. I haven't heard
from them. I don't know. I don't know what anyone. Well, TCG grading will be worth the most. Them and probably CGA.
Look, I see them at the card show, so I can understand that.
Just TCG grading because they have such a big market on the TCG stuff, and then CGA because of the history that they've got doing what they're doing. So anyway, let's.
Well, roll on, and anyone who's listening to that and is going, I'll never send it to anything other than PSA. You just wait until what I've got.
You wait, just wait 5 minutes. Just wait.
Then you might reconsider and actually give other grading companies a chance, or consider and say, you know what, I'm happy to support an Australian company because, well, once I show you later why, maybe you'll give it a second thought.
We'll get to it pretty quickly, actually, Source. Here we are. Here's the Topps Project 22 cards ending in 11 hours. We've got Phil Foden by Dai Tamura. We've got Matthias de Ligt by Orlando. We've got a Peter Schmeichel by Stanley Chow. We've got an Andreas Iniesta by Ivan Beslic. And we have Jamie Bino Giddens by Tyson Beck. It's got the RC on there too, Source. Rookie card.
Rookie.
There you go. So we
know absolutely nothing about that guy, but I'll be picking one up.
We'll be getting one. Don't you stress. So they're the cards that end in 11 hours. Those ones. Next one up, Saucy. All right. This has already dropped, this one here. What's today's date? Today is the
24th.
Today's the 24th. All right. So obviously Immaculate's dropped. We know that one has dropped.
Yep. Being told by the Oracle that he will not be buying into one break. Apparently, he reckons it's the most watered down product of all time. So
the Oracle told me, Source, that he watched a case hit, which was I can't remember who the player was. It wasn't a superstar, but anyway, it was hit the shoe. It was the tongue of the shoe in the card, and everyone was going off their nut, going, "Oh, what a hit! What a hit! What a hit!" They turned the card around and said, "This shoe has no affiliation with the player in question." So now they're buying their shoes from Rebel Sport, their material from Spotlight. Unbelievable.
Mind you, it was a dud.
Dick's Sporting Goods over there has got the biggest contract in the history of a supply for jerseys and shoes to Panini. It's unbelievable. But the hobby boxes contain 6 cards per pack and 1 pack per box. They're about $4,500 a box. And the Oracle told me you'd be lucky to get, if you get a good box, you'll get decent money. But on average, you reckon you'll get probably $150 worth of cards if you're lucky. He goes, that's how watered down and crap the product is based on what he's watched. And he's watched a lot of shit, Source. Right? This is not a guy that watches 2 boxes being ripped. He watches cases get ripped. He said, look for 3 autos and 2 mem cards per box on average. Best rookie patch autos, all that stuff. Anyway, I'm going to change it up this time. I'm going to do it this way so we can get a better look at the cards. Let me just zoom it. Bang, here's some of the cards. Instead of putting it in that gallery mode.
There we go. Yeah, look.
I wonder if I can go a little bit more. There we go. Donovan Mitchell. There's Michael Porter Jr. sticker on card
nice
there.
looking set, immaculate.
Immaculate's nice. They've got nice cards.
It's nice.
There's
nice
your boy,
cards.
SGA, Patch. Oh, look at that. Pau Gasol.
Not bad.
Marks of greatness. Rondo, that's nice. Kuminga, Patch. Franz Wagner.
France, my boy.
There you go. So obviously they've got the 75th logo man in there and triple logo mans and triple autos. They've got all that jazz as well. So anyway, buy your own peril this product because it's so expensive.
Might be singles might be the way to go. Let's be honest.
I think
breaks are pretty. I think even a random spot is like $100. You know, I mean, you're not guaranteed a card. Random spot,
yeah,
$100 or something like that. 120, I think I've seen it going for. It's pretty nuts, if you ask me.
Next one source comes out tomorrow. It is Panini Mosaic Basketball, 15 cards per back, 10 packs per box. Returns with popular parallels, autos, inserts. Find 1 auto, 20 prisms, and 20 inserts per hobby box. Collectors can chase after a wide range of parallels, including hobby-exclusive Mosaic Red, Mosaic NBA 75th Anniversary, Blue to 99, Mosaic Purple to 49, White to 25, Gold to 10, and 1 of 1 Mosaic Black. Find autos of the top NBA stars and rookies in Autographs Mosaic and Rookie Autographs Mosaic. Look for number to 10 and Black 101 parallels. Inserts that are exclusive to hobby boxes include Straight Fire, Starting 5, Swagger, Overdrive, and Stained Glass. And look for the new Super Rare, Translucence, and Rookie Eruption inserts. So let me just do another zoom in on here. I'll bring this up with Scotty Barnes. Jalen Green. There you go.
Yep, not a bad set, Mosaic. I like the Genesis out of it, and the I like the the refractor cards out of Mosaic personally.
I'm hoping. All right, hoping, not guaranteed. That's why I say hope that they fix the QC, which it's a stupid hope to have, on the print lines and the centering of these cards.
No,
because we've seen the QC of Mosaic go down the toilet the last 2 times that they've been released.
It's rubbish. I mean, we've seen it even in soccer.
So hopefully,
horrendous. It won't be fixed, Donna. Come on, man.
Ashton said, "I've not brought a team/spot in an Mac break since 2019. It's his favorite product ever. I'm a sucker for their shadow box autos."
There's some beautiful cards in Immaculate, but
I just buy the single.
I just think, man, you got to look. You got to look at the checklist. Go and be like, man, I'm spending this much money to get a team. You know, where's the value for me? You know, in buying that team. You know, unless you're just straight chasing the rookies. I mean, yeah, I guess, but you know, when I buy a spot in a break, like I'm looking like, oh, if I don't get this rookie, you know, what vets could I potentially get, and things like that. So, you know, at least there's a bit more chase behind it. But as I've said, the Oracle, who is the man that knows a lot about the hobby, said that this product is horrendously watered down this year. So, as we say, do your research. Look at the checklist and buy at your own peril. But singles, like most products, is probably the way to go.
Maddie says, look at the checklist and check the vet logo man and pick the lower end teams with potential to hit a logo man. It's not a bad way of doing it. Because you are going to get a lot more of the lower end guys than you are higher end guys. Not a bad tactic. All right, Source, I'm going to throw it to you because you got some interesting stuff to talk about. So, yeah.
All right. Doma, this has come across once again. Shout out Dan the Card Man. He's always on top of things. I watched this video and I was look. I'm not going to say that I was shocked, right? Because there is a phenomenal, amount of ways that people try to scam you in this hobby. But I was astounded at the level and the complexity and the sheer volume of scams that this bloke has pulled off over what seems to be like the last 3 years. That could be before that. Who knows? But if you haven't seen it, go watch huge eBay PSA scam. That's what the start of the video is called, Dan the Car Man. It's released 6 hours ago. So go check out that video because he explains it a bit more. But I'll just give you a brief description. Essentially, what it is this guy has, from what I can understand, I believe this. I've only watched the video once. I watched it 2 times speed. So if I got this wrong, that's why I've told you to go watch the video. But it's something along these lines. This guy has bought cards off of eBay, a certain cards, might be like low end Michael Jordan Fleer rookie, right? Graded 3, 4, 1, 1.5, 2. They're still a few $1,000 cards, right? Cracked the slab, PSA graded, cracked the slab, taken the original card out, right? For what seems right. Then got fake cards, fake, Jordan rookies. We know how common they were to fake, and there are some really, really good fakes out there. Got the fake card, got a matching slab and welding machine and everything, created another fake PSA slab and put that fake Jordan card in that slab and removed the real card plus destroyed the real slab from the pot report because he's cracked it out, right? He's then listed that fake slab that looks like a really good PSA fake with the fake card on eBay, but not as a single listing, as a lot. Why has he done that? Because eBay has the authenticity guarantee and, of a certain value. And things that are in a lot don't go through the authenticity guarantee check process. They, things that are single items, they do, right? But things that are in a lot, cards that are in a lot, they don't. So there's a bit of a loophole here, right? So this guy's found this out, and he will put that card in with a bunch of other basketball cards, 86 Fleer basketball cards, base ones or, other basketball cards from that era, and put it in the lot. And we'll put that in the title, but then we'll say plus lot of da-da-da-da-da, right? People have bid on these, purchased the fake cards, gotten away with it, hasn't had chargebacks, nothing. So he's really duped people. People think, I looked up that serial number. It's a legit serial number. He's copied the actual QR code onto the back. So they scan that QR code. It brings them to that thing. And he's removed the actual one from the pot report. So what will he do with the original card? Well, he then resubmits that card to PSA, gets it regraded, right? And then sells that card again. So essentially, he's selling the same card twice and making a fuck ton of money. And this guy had 14,000 feedback on eBay. Now, his account's been shut down now. It's finally been shut down because what was happening was people were suspecting that they were buying fakes, down the line. Who knows how long he's got away with it for? He could have got away with it
14,000 feedback. He's been doing it for a long time.
Now he might have been selling. He might have been selling a lot of legitimate cards in there as well. But in between selling a lot of legitimates, maybe he was doing 2 or 3 little scams a week. And if you're doing it on certain cards, Wayne Gretzky rookies. I know he's done it on old Honus Wagner cards, not the Honus Wagner rookie, but older Honus Wagner cards that still go for quite a bit of money. Older, the Fleer Jordan rookies and older baseball cards that were easy to fake back in the day, made on paper stock, Doma, really easy to fake. Yeah, and there's known a lot of fakes of these, these cards out there. So he's targeted those sorts of things. Just an elaborate plan, man. Just an elaborate plan. It just goes to show, man, you can never be too careful in this hobby, and just goes to show that like I said before, if you ever just saying you're never going to send to another grading company, well, PSA slabs aren't that all hard, to fake. If this guy's been getting away with this for 3 years, and it's probably duped a bunch of people. You never know. Someone might have bought a Jordan rookie and was like, oh, I'm going to buy that Jordan rookie. I don't care. It's a 2.5, it's a 3, it's a 4 PSA. Still a few $1,000 card, Dom. It's still like a $4,000 card or something, right? 3,000-4,000. They've put it away and they don't even know. They think it's real. They've checked the serial number, they've scanned the QR code, bang, boom, works. Looks like a 3, looks like a 4. They don't know. They've just recently got into the hobby in the last 2 years, and they're like, I'm going to buy a Jordan rookie card. Who's my favorite player. I've got the money. I used to collect cards as a kid. I'm back in it. I'm going to buy the best card I can get, of the best player ever. Right? Bang, stash that $5,000 card away. They're unsuspecting. Unless you're now watching guys like Dan the Card Man, listening to guys like us, and following this sort of stuff, then you can go, fuck, maybe I should go check that. Right? But what happens now? This guy's now gone, and he's got his money. He's scammed all these people. He's off eBay, and he's had 40,000 feedback. So how many fake slabs did this bloke put out onto the market? There's an article going back on Blowout Forums following this guy since 2020. It's 2 years. It's a long time.
So what's PSA done to the pop report?
Oh, so what PSA's had to done has literally, when people have suspected it and they've had to send in and go, I think this may have been something dodgy's going on, blah, 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 blah. They've ended up having to take those off the pop report. So who knows how many, how many extra cards, that this guy that are out there, and ones that, haven't been taken off the pop report yet. And he's regraded that card and added extra to the pop report. So there's more than you think out of there of this card. Like, it just goes to show that the whole scenario around grading and this pop report rubbish, like, you need to take it with a grain of salt. You know what I mean, Doma, that saying? And you can't read much into it. Like, you just got to, in this situation where you collect and if you want to preserve the card, be willing to send it to other grading companies, because, PSA ain't the be all and end all. I mean, this guy's probably, who knows, maybe faked 1,000 or more slabs that, and put them back out on the market. Like, it's not that hard to fake these PSA slabs. I'm telling you, the PSA plastic, Doma, is worth no more than 50 cents, that plastic, right? It's quite easy. I've literally found the same mold and everything on Alibaba.com and said, Doma, look at this. I can buy PSA cards. Now, I'm sure those ones might be a cheaper plastic, but I'm sure if you got in contact with them, made a report with them, sent them maybe one of them, and they could match it up, and you'd get there in the end, Doma. It's not that difficult, So, look, and in terms of the label, I mean, the PSA label ain't like nothing to, write home about. It's, it doesn't look like it's that difficult to forge. And, it's been proven that people have, and the fakes do get picked up. Don't get me wrong, but I'm sure there's a hell of a lot of unsuspecting people that couldn't pick up the fake. I'm sure there is, many people out there that wouldn't even know the difference. So, ladies and gentlemen, the lesson here is always be wary of what you're buying. Never even trust, someone that you think that you can really trust. I mean, just still do your due diligence. Please, just still do that extra check. You can never be too safe before handing over your money. And, man, don't think PSA is the be-all and end-all in this scenario. Like, give other grading companies a chance. That, Beckett had fakes out there as well. I think SGC's had fakes out there as well. You know what I mean? People like trying to copy their slabs and fake their slab and so on. So, you know, look, it happens there to other grading companies. So I'm not just targeting PSA, but I'm just saying that, man, the elaborate plan by these people to scam others in this hobby is just crazy. Just crazy.
It is. It's ridiculous.
Makes me shake my head. And you know, I've always said on this show, where there's money to be made, you always find opportunists that are looking to, you know, make a buck that, you know, isn't in an honest way. And there's so many ways in this hobby where if you do want to make a buck, I mean, you really can. You really can. You can.
And we can,
right?
and we've said it.
And but you got to put in the work. You got to put in the work. You know, doing eBay. You know, like having an eBay sniper, looking across different platforms. You know, PWCC. You know, being across different things. You know, getting into repacks, putting repacks together. You know, putting a little bit of margin on your repack. Shouldn't be too much. Maybe, you know, 15%, 20% at most. But if you do your right hunting for cards and are able to, you know, snipe some good cards and get some stuff that, you know, is a little bit under market and stuff does fall through the cracks, you can hustle and you can make an honest buck in this hobby. But
100%.
There are also a hell of a lot of people that just are not. I shouldn't say there are a hell of a lot of people. I should just say there are people out there, because it's not a lot. You know, I can tell you, you know, I think buying and selling cards for the last 3 years, Doma, I think I've been scammed twice. Once was for like $25 worth of cards, and once was, I think actually it might even be once. I think I can only recall one time. So one time for $25 worth of cards. Have had other issues in other times with just people slow at posting and things like that. I've always just taken the motive of giving people the benefit of the doubt. I've even had a guy literally not post a card for 2 weeks, and, you know, he came up with all this story. I don't know whether it's true or not, you know, and I didn't want to be rude. Just said, post it when you can. He did. Got the card in the end, so, you know, was happy. But I've only had one scam. So there's not a lot of people, but you still need to be aware of this shit. And you need to be aware that there could be potentially a card that you're looking at that might be in a fake slab. And you need to understand that how maybe you can identify that. So just be mindful, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. I don't, you know, Dom, you can't preach this stuff enough to people.
That, no, I know that. That's why
might not be
that's why I always say, like, when it comes to grading, I know the high-end stuff, if you want to send it to PSA, I get it. But your lower-level stuff, and this is not a slap in the face to any other grading company, but you should be sending that stuff to companies like Platinum Standard Grading, and I'm not going to say the other one because they don't give us time, but like TCG Grading and all these places, because they don't have a pyramid scheme model based on the value of the card, where the more expensive it is, the more you've got to pay a premium. It's $25. If you go through our sub,
$20 on a special sometimes.
On a special, card it's 27 through us, so it covers just an admin fee.
We just take all the.
We take an admin fee. Yep. $2. So $27. Whatever card you want to send, that's it. Done. The turnaround times is literally not even 2 weeks. We're getting them back within literally a week and a half.
Yeah.
So back
last order we got back
and
within,
back.
We got back within 18 days or something like that.
It was unbelievable. It was
ridiculous.
I don't know why. Anyway, besides the point. Speaking of card shows, this week, Sunday, card show Melbourne is being held at the Cranbourne Turf Club.
Cranbourne Turf Club.
So we've got PSG, Cherry, Card Obsessed, and Palms Off sponsoring this one, featuring Adam Trelaw, Jamil Raymond, Halftime, Brian Lake, and Jake Ward. There you go. This is who's coming. $25 on the day if you buy at the door. And here's a list of the people that will be in attendance.
$20 pre-sale. So if you get the ticket online prior, you only have to pay $20. So they're probably the way to go if you're planning to come down. And check out their Instagram page. Maybe drop their Instagram page in the comments, Doma.
I will source. I've actually got a post going out tonight that's going to have everyone tagged, and it's going to have all the shows coming up over the next few months. And then I'm just literally going to pull down that post and repost it every time a show's added, and have it pinned on our page, so you can go to the first tile on our Instagram page, and it'll always be there. I have the first show, so the most upcoming show first to the later ones. So this will be the first tile that you see when you come on the show, and it'll have every slide in there. So you'll see all the stuff, the QR code. So trying to make it good so we can see where all the shows are here in not just Melbourne. I've even got the South Australian show. I've got the Hobby Hangout Brisbane.
There's plenty of shows out there.
Just shows.
Yeah, apparently there's a vlog of the Adelaide card show somewhere. Yeah, yep. Apparently. Buried deep in my hard drive at this current point in time.
So, speaking of repack source, we're going to end on one. So, Matty Tape, also known as Mr. Call Kings, has sent through a repack each, and he wants us to battle it out. All right, so we're going to open it, and whoever has the better cards is the winner, I guess.
Well, I've opened mine.
Okay, I'm opening mine now. Here we go.
Hang on, I need a bit of light in here.
I reckon I've got. Well, I don't know if that's in order. We'll see.
Jeez, that's hot.
All right. So obviously, he's Mr. Corking's card.
All right, I'm pulling up out of the back. Yeah. Hang on. There we go. Mr. Court Kings, love the hobby, be the hobby. One of the best mottos I've seen. Love the
front,
hobby,
there's the
be
back.
the hobby.
All right. Are you going to go? Your hit's obviously at the back, so I've put that face down. I'm not even
My
showing
hit's at the
that.
back. I got one in a top loader, so I'll show that.
Yeah, same here. All right. So
All right. Zeke Nagy, rookie. Hoops.
I got
Paddy Williams, my boy.
Isaac Okoro Raider rookie. Tyler
Williams,
Bay.
Rookie. Don Russ.
Saban Lee.
Sam Merrill, rookie.
Is that lights, camera, action of LeBron? Yeah, baby. I'll take that.
Dennis Smith Jr.
Who's this Lamont?
Oh,
Dwayne Wade's brother,
Knicks.
Dean Wade.
Keldon Johnson, rookie.
Peyton Pritchards.
Anthony Davis, out of
Lights, camera, action, Ja Moran.
Tribute, Shaq, out of Hoops Premium. Oh, what's this? Kyrie at the Nets, Flux, Prison. Bang.
What is this guy?
Flux. And then a Joel Embiid,
slams.
Laser Green. Joel Embiid. And then, what's your hit?
DeRozan, Brandon Ingram. I'll take it. It's a 75.
Oh, I think you've won here. Hang on.
Patch auto.
Yeah, here we go.
From the Spurs. It's a vet. Sean Elliott.
I got a hang on.
Is that Denny Avdija?
This is Denny Avdija, right? And I got a napkin patch in there that has zero association. So what's yours say on the back?
The enclosed game worn material.
Oh, fuck, you smashed me.
And auto are guaranteed.
Game worn.
Yeah, because it's 14, 15 national treasures, mate. That's when they
product.
actually cared.
That's a good
they cared
product.
about their product,
That's when they
mate.
gave a fuck. Yeah, that's when they cared.
They gave a fuck back then. Look, that's the difference. They gave a fuck back then. Look, it's on card too.
That's nice. That's a nice card. That's a beautiful card. That is a beautiful card.
It's on card source.
Who's the player?
Sean Elliott.
I have no idea who that is, but it's a beautiful card. All right. Well, that was my hit, Denny Avdija. I'm actually more happy that I got a Patrick Williams base rookie in here, which I'm going to keep. It's my guy.
Well, I got lights, camera, action of Ja Moran as well, and I got a lights, camera, action of LeBron.
You smashed
Pretty
me.
happy with that.
You smashed me. All right, Doma. I'm not ending there. I'm just going to open a quick pack. Might as well. I found this in the drawer. I opened some.
Thanks,
drawers.
Matty.
Mr.
Mr. Court Kings, thank you very much.
Make sure you check
Thanks
him
for
out,
sending
ladies
it
and
through.
gentlemen. Mr. Court Kings. You got an Instagram page or what, Matty?
He's got his Instagram. It's Mr. Court Kings. And
There you
then
go.
I'll put a link in the comments. That's if you want to buy yourself a gold repack. Go chase it
check out
down.
his eBay store.
$20 on eBay. So it's pretty good.
Let's see. What do I got here? What's that? Caruso. Hang on. Might as well make myself big.
Make yourself big, man.
Iggy.
Is it? Oh,
Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Oh,
out of the league.
Frank Ntilikina.
Dud.
Spicy P.
He's good.
Evan Fournier.
He's all right.
Jalen Noel. Brian Forbes. Bryn Forbes.
Mm-hmm.
Who's that? CP3.
CP3.
Who's that? OKC. Tremont Waters, Silver. And, oh, wow. This guy's out of the league, no? Sekou Dumbuster.
Oh, no.
Wasn't he at
the Lakers?
He's a bust, man. And then a zero gravity Victor Oladipo, who's been playing really well for
that is horrific.
It's horrific. Oh, but we could get saved on the bonus pack.
Here we go.
All right. It looks like it's $20 down the drain. This is why you should have bought a Mr. Court Kings repack. Probably more value in that. No, not probably. There is. All right.
Zubac.
Zubachi. Who's that?
Is that Westbrook?
Whiteside. Hassan Whiteside.
Oh.
Oh, and Duncan.
Oh, no.
Fuck off. Didn't even get a fucking rookie in the. That's bullshit. It's not even a rookie in there. Fucking rubbish.
And on that note, keep living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the Great Red Sauce.
Well, fucking buy singles.
Peace.
Peace, ladies and gentlemen. Stick to singles.
Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports. Double coverage.